Experience being pregnant with COVID was really scary. There's a lot of uncertainties, a lot of, people didn't know what was going on. And I was told that I could only have one person in the room with me in delivery, so that was naturally really scary. Directly after Kason was born, we thought everything was normal. We had a really good nurse, a really good delivery nurse, and she noticed that his breathing was a little bit off. So initially she thought doing skin to skin with me, which is essentially is just putting the bare baby on the mother's chest. She thought that would get his breathing back down to normal, and it didn't. And it started to kind of freak her out, and she didn't want to scare me. So she basically just told me, hey, his breathing's a little off. I'm going to take him down to the NICU. It'll only be for a little bit. And he should be back in your room within the next couple of hours. I was worried. I was heartbroken. I mean, we unfortunately didn't have a doctor that had great bedside manner. And so it was just, they used a lot of medical terms of which I didn't understand. I remember she walked in the room and literally told us that his condition was worsening, and he was gonna have to be incubated. So he had a tube stuck down his throat. It's horrible. And then when you're a mom, like, you're still on the maternity ward, so you're in like recovery with all these moms, and you hear all these babies crying with their moms, and your baby is in the NICU, and you don't really have any solid answers as to when he's gonna be back with you. So Kason was in the NICU for about 11 days, so we had to leave the hospital without him, but we were able to get a hotel right across the street and visit him really frequently. So it was a hard experience, but we were put with the best people to get us through it.
We were surprised, shocked, and just began to pray, asking the Lord to help him. And we didn't have all the details at first, and that was kind of kept from us until later on. But we wanted, caring for Kason and Amber, Cody, as well as Avery, and just wanting to get more details as to what exactly was going on.
Sterling, our youngest child, actually spent some time in NICU. So to Daryl's point, him being in NICU wasn't as big of a concern until we realized that, he had breathing difficulties, and it was a lot more going on than what we initially thought. We were doing all of the things that you would normally do with a kindergartner. We did homework, we took her to school, we made sure she had breakfast, packed her lunch, made sure she had dinner, had her bath, and then we just basically filled the role that we could fill for Avery.
They would spend time with our Uncle John, and I think Avery and Jonathan stayed together, and that's another story to be told. But
he snuck and got candy.
I'm blessed to have the tribe, the family that I have. My brother came from, I think, Dallas, wherever John was at the time. He came up there. He met my parents down in San Antonio, drove up to Dallas. My parents were super supportive. They took Avery to school every single day. My brother John and my mom would take Avery to school every day. So I didn't have to worry about her well-being while I was in the hospital, and that was my biggest, it was such a blessing, honestly.
You need to do for your family. Things will pop up along the way. Life isn't a bed of roses, but you can make, you can change a bad situation to a good situation just by your attitude and the way that you want to approach it. And again, through the grace of God.
And I think the thing we learned about our family, which is what we already knew, is that when push comes to shove, everyone shows up.
Kason is a bundle of joy. He's always running around, doing something, getting into something, looking to see if somebody's seeing him doing something, and you say something, he laughs and runs. He's a typical little boy.
I can't add to that. He's just a bundle of joy, a lot of energy. You got to rest up before you keep him, and you got to rest up after you send him home. But
he loves eating food.
When he's in the room, like, he's great. He's a healthy kid. This experience taught me that you can get through anything when you have a strong, support system. And, even though things don't necessarily go the way that you have planned, they always end up working out in the end.